The tools needed for this project will be a flathead screwdriver, a skinny pair of needle nose pliers, a normal pair of needle nose pliers, a 5/64 Allen wrench, a 1.5 millimeter Allen wrench, and a 0.5 millimeter Allen wrench. And the part used is Hot Racing VTH125F. It is a CNC aluminum front diff lock for the Vaterra twin hammers. It is drilled out to make it lighter, and this should be a great part. This is going to be a quick video on how to lock the stock Vaterra twin hammers ready to run differential in the front. The rear is already locked, so that's good. The front, if you want to have absolutely great crawling and full-time crawling, you're going to want to lock the front diff. And that's what I want to do, so this is going to be a video on how to do it. So the first thing you do is you got to order the differential locking kit. So I went to RC Superstore and went ahead and I ordered the Hot Racing aluminum front diff lock for the Vaterra twin hammers. As you can see, there's what you get. 2 pins in there with that. And I'm going to show you how to do this. So once you take the suspension off, you're going to have this diff right here. And I actually put those 2 screws in there just to block those holes because I actually have the upright suspension in the front, but it doesn't matter. This is the same way for the upright versus the inside suspension. Then you're going to want to go to your next step, which is you're going to want to turn the car over, and you'll see the screws right here in the bottom. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to want to take out those 4 screws. Then, now that you got those out, you'll see that this stock bumper will just pull right off. So then there's 2 more screws right after you get that off that you're going to want to take out. And just go ahead and take both of those out. So now that you got those out, you'll see as I take that off, it'll pull right up for me. So flip it back over. And you're going to want to take this ball cup right here, just pop it off. You might need to get your pair of needle nose pliers and just grab it right there and be careful not to break it. And you'll see how that just pops right off of that little ball right there. Now that you got the diff off the car, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take out that screw right there as well as that one right there. Now that you've got those 2 screws out, you're going to want to look, and if you could see under there, there's a screw there and there, and you're going to want to take out both of those as well. Now that you got those 2 out, you're going to want to turn it back over, and you will notice that you can just pull it right apart. There's the front of your diff, and here's the actual diff itself. So then what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to put your fingers between there and just pop that one on out. Slide the drive shafts each at a time. Then you can take all that and you could just set that to the side. And this is what we're going to be working with. See how those, see I can hold that one in place and the whole thing will still turn? Well, the diff lock will prevent that. Next, what you want to do, now that you have the diff out of the casing, you're going to want to go ahead and take all 4 of those screws out. And this is going to be actually a smaller Allen wrench, and it's going to be a 0.5 millimeter wrench. Just go ahead and take all those out. So now that you got all 4 of those out, you're going to want to just grab this side and this side, and it will just pull right apart. You could set that off to the side, and we're going to be focusing on this. So what you're going to go ahead and do is you're going to go ahead and take your needle nose pliers and just gently pull those gears out, and you'll see all 4 of them came out. And you can just set those to the side. So now that you got those gears out, what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to take your needle nose and you're going to want to go in between there, and the gear in the bottom of here, you're just going to want to pull that out. You got to really have a nice pair of needle nose, but it'll come right out. And once you got that out, you can just set that off to the side. So then, in the hot racing kit, it comes with a new pin. If you can see, there's a little pin down there. Well, you're going to be replacing it with this longer one. So, go ahead and pull that little one down there out. And that can go over there. So then, you take the new hot racing one. You've got to line it up. So once you've got it lined up, you're going to just want to push it in, and you're going to want to get it centered. And the more centered it is, the easier it will be. So once you've got that, you're going to want to take your hot racing diff locking thing, and you're going to want to take one of those pins that held on all these little spider gears, and you're going to put one through the middle of that. As you can see, I have that in the middle. So then what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to try to line that up with the little pin you have down there. And you're going to want to grab your pliers again. And you're going to want to center the diff locking up. And just push that down in there. So once you've got that down in there, you're going to want to hold your finger on this side and just turn this. While pushing pressure onto this diff lock, you're just going to turn, and you'll see that that will just pop down in there. And now, if you turn that, it won't let you turn the inside. So that side is already locked. You can set that right there. Next, what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to get this side. And you're going to want to take your needle nose again and just go ahead and pull that right off. You're going to want to get the new hot racing pin and just push that one in the middle and center it. So now that you've got that centered, you're going to take this side of the diff and you're just going to fit those two together and just turn that until it locks up. And there it is. Now your diff is completely locked. So those 4 screws you took out earlier, you're going to want to go ahead and just put those back in. So now that you've got those in and your diff is locked, you can go ahead and just set it right back in your differential. You're going to want to line the drive shafts up and fit them in on both sides. And once you've got them in, your diff will sit right back in there. Now you're ready to put the front case on. Now that you've got that in and you've got your front diff, you're just going to want to go ahead and slide that on and line up the A-arms. And now that you've got that in, you can go ahead and put your 2 screws back in the hole here and here, as well as here and here. So now that you go ahead and put those in, then you'll be ready for the next step. Now that you've got all that back together, you can go ahead and place it on your chassis. Make sure to line up that drive shaft with the center diff, and now that it's on there, you can go ahead and put your screws back in the bottom. So let's go ahead and put those back on. Now that you've got the diff on, you can go ahead and put your bumper screws in. And there's 4 of those, and let's go ahead and get those on it. Now that you've got all 4 of those in, you can go ahead and flip the car back over. So now you're going to want to go ahead and just pop this ball cup back onto your steering. You can go ahead and use your pliers again and just pop it on there. Now that ball cup did not want to go on that other way, so I turned the car around, and I'm just going to show you a quick, easy way to get it on there. So what you're going to want to do, you're going to grab the ball cup and just get it started, and just hold that with your finger. Put your pliers behind this on the end of that ball cup, and you're just going to hear it snap on. And you can hear it pop on, and it's on there now. So now you've got your diff on, you've got everything else back on, and you can go ahead and mount your front suspension back on, and you're good to go. Your front diff is locked, which will help this do much better crawling and much better in the mud and off-road in the snow and whatever. So I'm going to try to get some videos of this specifically with the locked diff versus unlocked, and just show a little comparison between the two. And I will definitely come back and tell you if I thought this was a good upgrade or if I should have done heavier diff oil or what my preference is.